Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ren. I'm an artist, and on today's video we're going to do a sketchbook tour. I have my Talons Art Creation sketchbook here, and I'm going to take you through all the sketches that I've done in, well, now it's 2024, so in 2023. All right, let's open it up. On the first page here is a still life of a vase. You're going to see a theme in the sketchbook. I take a lot of my inspiration from home decor, so you're going to see a lot of vases and different compositions with vases in them. So this is a vase that I have here, actually, that I keep some paintbrushes in. So I sketched it out here. I started with the neutral color. The vase is a neutral beige. So I sketched it out here with a neutral colored pencil, and I did the background in marker, I believe. I don't remember the color that I used. I think an idea that I'm going to take into this year is to note the supplies that I used. But I do have a few markers here that I love to use. I have my King Art twin tip brush pens along with some Tombow dual tip brush pens as well. Recently I started using these Artist Loft acrylic paint markers, much like Posca markers, and I do like these as well. But here I believe I must have used either the Tombow or the King Art for the background, and I tried to do some shadow shading here at the bottom. And I have a little tube of gouache here that I sketched out with marker. So I quite like this composition. I remember when I started this sketchbook, I was so scared of the blank pages. I don't know, guys, you tell me what you think. I think sometimes blank pages really intimidate me. Just something about that blank page and looking at it and saying, what am I gonna put on this page? So I went a few pages in before I started my first sketch. On this page here, before it, I did a few color swatches of some of the markers and the colored pencils, just to sort of decrease my anxiety with, filling the sketchbook. So turning the page, I started this sketch on Christmas of 2022, actually, 12/25 to 12/26, 2022. And this sketch is of the area that separates my living room from the kitchen. And, there's the sort of extension of the counter there, and I have a vase there. I do have a large vase with some stems coming out of it. And I said, let me just sketch it. So I did that. I layered a lot of different neutrals of colored pencil. The vase that I have is sort of a light brownish, beigeish. So I layered in. I can see different colors here. I even see some purple with some orange and some light beige and dark beige and brown. And I did a blue background here with some purple. I like how blue and purple complement each other as well. And here I sketched out some shelves. I don't have shelves in that area of my home, but I wanted to sort of see how they would look, so I thought I would sketch them out with a marker here, and I quite like how it turned out. On this page here, I sketched another area of my home. This is the dining room area that I can see when I sit in the living room. So I wanted to sketch out the portion that I did see of the table and chair and curtains. I do quite like how the curtains turned out here. Yeah, so that was done on 12/27. Here on 12/28/22, I sketched this in the Starbucks in the Barnes & Noble that I went to that day. And I was just running out of ideas of what I wanted to sketch, so I said, why not sketch my coffee cup? So yeah, here it is. I quite like it too. Yeah, I like how it turned out. This is my coffee cup from Barnes & Noble. So here I think this is one of my favorite sketches in this book. I talked about this sketch on either my first or second video on this channel. And it's of some purple asters that I saw in New York City. I actually started this sketch in the car. So we were taking a walk and I saw these beautiful purple asters in this small grassy area, and it was so gorgeous. I took a picture and I started this sketch. So I do like, once again, purple and blue with little touches of yellow. And I was playing with pattern here. I decided to do a checkered background. And yeah, I really love this composition here. I actually have I turned it into quite a large piece that I have yet to frame it and put it up, but I will show it to you. And yeah, I started in the car and coming from New York City. Yeah, I like that one. So here, this is dated 1/2/22, but it's supposed to be 23. And I wanted to draw some fruit, and I put orange or peach because I didn't know which one it looked more like, but I do quite like this as well. I layered in a lot of orange and yellow and red, and yeah, did some shading here at the bottom. You tell me, guys, does it look like an orange or a peach? You guys let me know. So here in this sketch, this is very simple. I wanted to do sort of an abstract petal shape on the outside of this flower here. So I layered in some watercolor pencils. I do have my Derwent watercolor pencils here. I do quite like these pencils a lot. And my Derwent light fast pencils that I use a lot also in my sketchbook. Also, I do have Prismacolor, some other Prismacolor pencils that I like to use. And more recently, I've added these Prismacolor Cold Erase, which are erasable colored pencils. But for this sketch, I believe I used my Derwent watercolor pencils and did some line work on the outside and sort of shaded that out with some water. And in the middle of the flower, I wanted it to look very detailed, so I used marker to really sketch out the middle of the flower. Let me take a sip of my tea here. So on this page, this is dated 2/24/23. I quite like this composition as well. And I did recreate this, not in this colorway, in a larger painting that I have. But I do like the composition here. I layered in on the vase some purples and some blue, which you can see that I like that combination. And yeah, did some striping in the back with some marker here. And I do just like the tight composition of the roses here with some flowers cascading up this way. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So here I did this sketch very quickly. It was done on 3/8/23, and it was done in the evening. I do remember doing this. It was late. I was flipping through some home decor magazines and I saw this spread of a beautiful striped vase with flowers cascading down one side, and I just wanted to capture that quickly. So I just quickly scribbled some lines and you know, tried to blur some of the line work out with water. I believe these are watercolor pencils as well with marker. I especially like this flower here drooping down heavily on this side, and this large one here. I really enjoyed this composition. I should actually recreate this into a larger painting. Sometimes I do, which I'm sure a lot of artists do, but I like to work out my ideas in my sketchbook and recreate them if I like how it turned out on a larger piece. So yeah. So here, this piece, I was also playing with pattern here with the stripes on the vase with the checkered table. I actually started this idea at work. I sketched it out quickly on a piece of paper, and I came home, I taped it in, or I glued it in the sketchbook, and I said to myself, you know, what would complement this? And I thought of red, and you can see I put here maybe a red background or some red poppies. So what I did on this page instead, I just, you know, splashed some watercolor on here just to see how the red would look. So yeah. On this page, these two pages, I actually remember doing this sketch. I was sick on these days. I believe I had the flu. I don't know. I remember I was really sick and it was snowing outside. This was on March 13th and March 14th, 2023. And here I wanted to just do some quick doodles and sort of in a pattern, like a surface pattern. So I just doodled these quickly. Even though I wasn't feeling well, I said, let me get up and, you know, do something to make myself feel better, which is often something, you know, art related. Here on this page, which I did the next day, 3/14, I had the idea to just use 3 colors. I was challenging myself to use 3 colors and to see what I could come up with. So I quite like how this turned out. It's very saturated with dark blue, light blue, and pink. Yeah, and I think I succeeded in this challenge. I like how this one came out as well. On this page here, this is quite like the vase that I did, hold on this page here, the striped vase, but I wanted to do it just in black and white. And I don't know if you can see here, I said put this vase on a pedestal. So that's what I did here. I did some black and white, you know, some black line work with some marker, and it looks like a Roman pedestal or something that you would see maybe in a church, or I would think like a Roman, I don't know, but you know the idea that I'm going for. And I think I quite like how this one turned out as well. I like the maroon colored pencil here on the background. On this page, I call this vase my butterfly vase. I wanted the handles of the vase to look like butterfly wings, and I did recreate this vase in a larger painting as well. I love this vase. I love how it turned out. Yeah, so I call that my butterfly vase. Here at the bottom, I did these squiggly lines, and I call them my sketchy carnations. I think carnations can be quite challenging to capture on paper, so I just did some squiggly lines and I call them my sketchy carnations. This page here I did for 8/23. I did this on spring break when I was on a trip, and I saw some different vases and things in a magazine, I believe, either a magazine or online. I saw all these different vases that I like, and I said, let me just sketch them out and do different things with them, different line work, different colors, different compositions, and you know, make it simple and put a background on it. I wanted to continue the yellow onto this page with another vase here with some flowers in it, but I don't know why I stopped. I added this orange here. I stopped the yellow and I put orange here with the purple. And something about this orange really threw me off. I didn't like how this orange turned out in this for some reason. But yeah, I like this spread as well, except for the orange. I'd say the orange is not my favorite. I do like how the yellow and the purple complement each other. On this page here, you see I did take my yellow and purple idea from the previous sketch, and I did it on this background. I don't know how this shows up on camera because the purple here at the bottom is pretty light, but I call this my candy cane vase with the red stripes here, and with some flowers cascading on one side with a book and a cup. Another vase composition. I'm sure by now you can see the theme of vases. Here on this page is another small vase. I quite like this composition as well because of the saturation of the color, the fuchsia background and the dark purple vase. I don't know if this is showing up black on camera, but it is a very dark purple with red and the green leaves. I just love the saturation of the color here. So here I wanted to do some more pattern work, a checkered pattern, and instead of doing straight lines up and down on the composition, I did squiggly lines here. So yeah, this was done on 6/30/23. This is also done on 6/30/23, the same day. I wanted to take those asters and the light blue and dark blue from the previous sketch here on this page and create it in a different composition. I took the checkered background and I put the checkers on the vase and did those purple asters again. This spread, this is one of my favorite spreads in the book, in my sketchbook. I just love how these two pages, they flow together. It's almost like it's one big painting. And even though, you know, it looks like a complicated spread, there really aren't a lot of colors here. I believe there are about 4 or 5 colors. You have purple, red, you have a lighter purple, green, and you have a little yellow and orange here. And it's really not a lot of colors, but I love this composition. And here I just did some squiggly lines for flowers, and I just love this a lot. This is in my sketching every day for a week video that I will link for you. But yeah. So this composition here, I really did not like, to be honest. My idea for it was to lay down some splotches of red with watercolor and do some line work around it. I use my Pigma Micron fine liners, which are very popular here. I have another Derwent fine liner that I do use from time to time, but on this sketch specifically I use my Pigma Micron fine liners. But I did not like this sketch, to be honest with you. I don't like the way it came out. I added the border at the end and it made me like it a little bit more, but something about it is just throwing me off. I don't know if it's the light red wash in the background. You know, I think if I'm going to use red, I would rather it be saturated than a washed out red. Yeah. On this page here, I call this my floral explosion. There's a lot going on this page, and I sort of go back and forth with, do I like this? Do I not like this? I'm not quite sure. On one hand, I do like the composition of the florals. They sort of go in an X pattern with some cascading down that I do like. And I do like the line work on the vase. But you know, I said, let me just take it a little step further. I was gonna do just a colored background, but I said, let me just do some pattern work around and see how I like it. So you have some polka dots and some, you know, some lines here, some different squiggly lines up here. And yeah, I go back and forth with this one. I'm looking at it now thinking, do I like it? Do I not like it? But you guys let me know what you think. So on this page, I wanted to take the pattern here, the red and black pattern, and continue it here. I did like the red and black together, so I was just playing with some pattern work here. On this sketch, I believe I filmed this one. This should be in a video. I forget which video, but it should be in one of my previous videos that I will link for you. But I do like, what I like about it is this color here in particular, this peachy color in the back with the blue together, I think go very well. I started first sketching this with a neutral beige marker, and then I layered over different colors. Here I layered over blue, and here I layered in purple. And sometimes I do that. I started doing that, going in first with a neutral color just to lay down the composition of where I want things, and then I'll go over it with different colors to create more depth. Yeah, I really do enjoy this composition as well. So here, I also have this in my sketching every day for a week video here. Yeah, in my sketching every day for a week. And I did something a little bit different. As you can see, I was working with different expressions here in the eyes. So yeah, I like this one. I love the different expressions. I love just how they're looking in different directions. She's looking off to the side. These eyes look a bit sad. She looks a bit confused. And here with this figure, I made her hair. I started with her hair a little bit like a smaller afro, but then I tried to make it a bit bigger. You know, I was just sort of working out how to draw hair, you know, curly hair. So yeah. So on this spread here, this was done on 8/1/23. I did this in Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I did this in Barnes & Noble, and there was a gentleman there sitting next to me, so I wanted to sketch him out real quick before he saw me. So I think I did a good job, especially on his shirt, sitting on the chair here. I like how this came out, and behind him was the magazine rack with all the different magazines around him. So yeah, I like how this one came out as well. Oh, here I was working with some expressions as well. I have a book on how to draw faces, so I was just working with some of the expressions that I saw in the book, and I like her a lot. She looks really serious. She looks like, what are you looking at? But I like her expression, and I just wanted to block it out with some this is some acrylic craft paint that I have here that I use in my sketchbook quite often. So here is more acrylic paint for the background, and with this one I figured out that I could layer in some white charcoal. I have this Montmark charcoal pencil that I layered in some flowers, and I love the texture. I wish you could feel this, the texture, drawing with the charcoal, and just the sound that it makes. Something about sketching with certain materials. I love the sketchy sound that it makes on paper. I just love that sound. Yeah, so this is when I found out that I could layer charcoal on this acrylic paint, which I should try again. So here on this page, the inspiration for this pattern work here, you see there like an animal print. I got my nails done one day last summer. Yeah, this was 8/11, and I told the nail tech, just, you know, give me a pattern and, you know, do what you want. I didn't want to tell her what to do. I just sometimes wanted, you know, I like to just sit there and just experience, you know, getting my nails done. So she did this great animal print pattern, and I said, whoa, that's so nice. So I came home and I wanted to recreate the animal print in different colors. So you tell me what color you like best as the background. I do quite like this dark red here. The red, I do like the green as well, and the orange actually is pretty good as well. So yeah. So here I sketched out some little birds, and I started once again with some neutrals and sketched all these little guys. Look at him. I love his face. If you can see, he looks mad. So I sketched all these little birds out, these little wrens, and blocked in the background. I believe it's with my Neocolor 1 here. Yeah, that I blocked in the background with. Yeah, these Neocolor 1s are wax pastels. They're not water soluble, but I love working with them. You can lay out color pretty quickly. You can even sketch with these pretty quickly if you're just sketching something out with these Karen Ash Neocolor 1 wax pastels. But yeah, I love how these little cute birds turned out. So on this page, I wanted to do something a bit different and sketch some furniture, which I don't think I was really successful at, but I gave it my best shot. I think the scale of it didn't turn out right, but I like it. I do like the background here. I believe these are Neocolor 1 wax pastels as well. Oh, I love this spread also. So here I did a vase and just different flowers, and I believe I was making what looks like a keychain, sort of. Yeah, it looks like a keychain that I was thinking of here. So I used some acrylic paint, this Robin's Egg Blue acrylic paint, as the background, which is a beautiful color, and it complements the pink and the neon yellow really well. I believe I do have this one in a video as well, but this is also one of my favorite spreads in this book. So on this page, I do remember this was 8:25:23 at 4 a.m. I remember that morning I just felt like sketching. So I woke up and I came upstairs here to my studio and sat down and I did some quick line work. I did it with, I believe these are my acrylic markers, and did a quick background with some Neocolor ones, and yeah, that just satisfied my urge that day to do some art. Sometimes it's like that. The urge just comes over me and I'm like, I just got to get something on paper. And I did this very quickly. Oh, here is another spread that I did. I believe this was getting into fall now. Yeah, I don't have a date here, but I'm pretty sure we were in fall by this time. And yeah, I blocked out some green acrylic paint here, and I believe I used some gouache for this painting. Yeah, I believe this is gouache that I use on top of the acrylic. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, I think one idea that I am going to take into my sketchbook sessions for this year is to note the materials that I use, so I remember when I go back, if I want to recreate something, what materials I used on that day. I don't know if I would do it on the exact same page that I do the spread on, or if I would do it on the next page, or where I would note it down, because this sketchbook is quite small. But I think that would be a good idea, just to, you know, just so I remember really. On this page here, this is dated 10/12. Yeah, these are just some more flowers, a little butterfly here. I believe these are magnolias that I sketched out here. Yeah. On this page, this is dated 10/25. I have a video on this as well. I think this is one of my days in my art studio videos. This was just inspired by, I took a drive up to a lake and I just saw the beautiful water. It was already fall time because this was, I did this sketch in October, late October, but it was just so beautiful. So I was just inspired to do a sort of an abstract water scene, and I went online and I just printed out some photos of some scenery that I like, just inspired by that day. And I do have an inspo board that I put together for this, and I sketched this out. I believe I did some oil sticks or oil pastels, I think oil sticks, on this composition here. So this is supposed to be a path heading toward like a sandy beach and the sky. Very abstract, but I love this. I love working abstractly because you don't have to think too much. You just sort of go with the flow and you just laying your colors down. Yeah, I love this one. So here, I did this one also quickly on 10/27. Another vase with some flowers. This was just done very, very quickly. Once again, just laying down color on paper. Sometimes I just get the urge, like I said, to just get something down. And yeah, I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but I just wanted to sketch something that day. So here, I was just coming up with different ideas of things I can try in my sketchbook. So I wanted to sketch this beautiful lady here sitting on a bench. Yeah, so I did this one with marker and colored pencil. You can see she has some jewels here on her neck. I like this one. I don't draw figures too much. I do like to challenge myself with different things, but yeah, I like how this one came out. This I did more recently. Once again, working with this acrylic craft paint for the background. I just love the texture of this, and I did this floral doodle here with a lot of marker. I believe I have some watercolor pencils in here as well. Here's another checkered vase I did with some pansies, quickly. I actually did this one the day after Christmas. I just wanted to sketch out some pansies here with marker. So I think we're coming to the end now. And this is the sketch that I did most recently. I did this in Barnes & Noble in the Starbucks section of a tulip. And I did not know how this was going to turn out. I did it on camera. I think I have a short on filming this. There was a book that I saw in Barnes & Noble of some tulips, and I was inspired by one of the pictures. And yeah, I love how this came out. And here you can see my son wanted to sketch in my sketchbook, so he did this Mario, which is very cute. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this sketchbook tour. So guys, let me know what you think about my sketchbook. Let me know any ideas that you might have. I'm always open to ideas of different things I can draw in my sketchbook. So coming up on this year, the things that I said I want to work on in my sketchbook is, like I said, noting the materials that I use. I think would be helpful just to remember what I used for that day if I want to recreate any sketch that I do into a larger painting. Yeah, I think just adding more notes and even color swatching different things that I use on that day, just to really jog my memory for future paintings. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Bye.